Alright guys, welcome back to License to Sin YouTube channel. The long-awaited Continental is making a return debut. We're getting ready to pull the radiator and a bunch of the front end component parts off so we can replace the timing chain. Some of that may not be recorded right off the bat because I kind of wanted to get into more of the technical details down the road as we do more of how the timing stuff is set up due to the power steering pump and stuff. With that said, we're gonna get started and we'll jump right back here shortly. The radiator out of the way, you saw in the time-lapse portion. Belts are off, so now the main goal is going to be, we gotta take the water pump off, and once we get that shit off, the power steering pump sits behind that somewhere. That dog scared me. And then we gotta, oh, fucking hell, dog. Bad knee too.
Gets me too every time.
Once we get that power steering off, then we can get to the timing cover, which is part of this, which is where the fuel pump sits on, and that shit will come out. So we're just going to time lapse a lot of that procedure of pulling out, because most of the technical details I think is going to be more putting back on and showing you how we got the access. I kind of don't. So if people have questions, feel free to comment and I'll answer any of your questions. I know a lot of the Lincoln guys probably don't realize that timing gear is plastic and it is a bitch. So having said that, let's jump into this and have fun. Enjoy the cool music. Alright guys, so real quick before we just keep going through this process, I see a lot of posts in the Lincoln group. Right on the crankshaft, before you take the power steering pump off, there's a Woodruff key right there. You can kind of see the lights on it. You have to pull that out, and it's kind of not easy. I just used some vice grips, twisted, pulled, and it came right out. But there's that part, so we're just gonna finish taking the power steering pump off and the timing cover, and then we'll show the timing situation right now as it sits. So enjoy more time lapse. Possibly, maybe not. Depends on how long the video is. Enjoy the music. So you can definitely see where the timing has jumped. Fortunately, unfortunately, it looks like, oh yeah, you can see that. It's
The teeth on it, saw blades.
yeah, that's fucking sharp. That's like a bike chain that's been abused. Yeah. So you can definitely see where timing has jumped 100%. Well, not 100% literally, but you know, maybe a few percent. But it looks like someone's been in here once before and replaced this with the metal timing gear because factory, these are plastic. This part will be metal, but the teeth will be plastic, which is very strange.
And that chain definitely should not be just sitting on top of the teeth.
Yeah, that threw me off most, is that the chain is sitting on the teeth and not in the grooves. That's so strange. I've ridden motorcycles for shit more than half my life at this point, and I have never seen a chain do this. So that's from a bike chain perspective, you know, but as far as timing goes, I've never seen anything like this either. So idea now is to pull this key out and just pull all this shit off. Well, actually, we probably should try to get it in timing first.
We gotta get it in time.
Yeah, top dead center first and go from there. But this is good progress, and then we can clean all this up.
I guess the good progress is that our hypothesis was correct.
Yeah, that makes me feel better, like 100% that the timing is the issue, because part of my worries is that we pull it apart and the timing is not the problem, and then we have a whole nother set of issues. So this is great news, even though it's kind of like semi-worst case to have to deal with all this. So also, I don't know if we said random neighbor guy's still here yet. So, you know, he's still showing up. You know, he's got Yingling today.
Yangling, because Texas.
It's in Texas now. Yeah, we just got it like 2 weeks ago or something like that.
That's definitely not.
This is the new lower timing gear. This is the one that was on it. And upon taking it off and holding it, it's actually aluminum. Which means someone's been in here before. Because usually factory they're plastic. So unless I'm wrong, ooh, what if the plastic gears were on top of this? And all the plastic gears are gone. I don't know if that's right or not. I don't know if this is factory long and short, now that I think about it.
If that did have plastic on that,
You can
then
see
it's
it
in the wall
stripped.
pad.
Yeah, and that's bad.
You can see the chain stripped across it.
Yeah,
By looking at
but
the teeth.
I'm just starting to think like,
It could have had molded plastic.
what if this had molded plastic on top of it?
And then
I didn't
once
even think about
And then
that.
once the plastic was gone, it just kept eating
Yeah.
at the top of those.
Absolutely could have. Absolutely.
That's weird. I didn't think they would put aluminum in something like this in the 60s, but with it being plastic geared,
Because look at how much thinner that is compared to that.
Yeah.
Even width-wise.
yeah, when you set this on there, you can see this way, and ow, that's fucking sharp, boys. You can see this way that it's even a lot thinner, so I may wind up draining the oil and pulling the oil filter out to see if there's plastic in there. I didn't even think about that until just now.
It'd be worth it.
The good thing is if it's plastic wouldn't be that detrimental.
It's not ideal, but
No, not ideal, but
it's better than having metal in there.
I don't think
Which
that-
there's probably some. But this is the old chain, obviously. You can see it's dirty. We got a new chain, this. I'll put links for everything where I got it from. There's a company that sells the whole kit, gaskets, and everything. I'll put these part numbers in the description. Please read the description. Don't It will be in the description. I will pull the eBay link. I'll pull the company. I'll shout them out. They sold me both gears and the gasket kit complete as far as I know right now. But I just wanted to show you guys the difference on this. That's just insane. So now we're going to put the new timing gears on and kind of go from there and then start working on putting everything back together. So hold tight. Okay, gents, so we've cleaned out the oil pan as much as we could to what we are hoping is a safe amount. We've got the new filter on there that I mentioned earlier. All the parts will be in the description. We had to trim it a little bit to get it to fit perfect. Just like
the gasket.
yeah, the gasket
filter.
that is. Sorry, gasket, my bad. So we trimmed this gasket right here just a little bit to fit perfect. It was a little bit longer. I don't know if that was by design or not, but yeah, so we put some, is that Permatex Ultra Gray?
Yeah.
Ultra Gray down here in the corner, so when we put the timing cover back on, that will not potentially have a leak, is the idea. And then we gooped the shit out of that while we were at it, and then put the new gasket on there.
Now, what we did off camera to clean the oil pan, we actually got a fuel pump and a bucket and basically made a recirculating system. And we ran the hose down in the front of the oil pan and just flushed everything out of the oil drain until we seen it was running clean. So that should have got a majority of it off because the pan's not coming off.
Yeah.
And not because we tried, because we didn't. It's just not coming off.
I would agree. Yeah. It's just, y'all can cry all y'all want. The bitch ain't coming off. Okay. We got the timing cover right here. I thought that was a razor blade through it for a second. I was like, how the fuck did that happen? It was shiny. I cleaned everything up, all the surfaces with the wire wheels, so it was as clean as possible to get.
It has a new seal in it.
We got the new seal that also came in the kit right here. And then we used the parts cleaner that we have right there to just, what chemicals are in there? Basically acid of some sort.
PSC 1000 from Tractor Supply.
Yeah, PSC 1000.
Solvents.
So we're gonna slap this all on there, probably time lapse a little bit of this going back together and explain any details along the way that may be complex. Enjoy the music. Meh, 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 but I don't know.
Matt, 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 meow. Matt, 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 meow.
Okie doke, guys. So I know y'all saw a lot of the time lapse of us putting this all back together. One thing you definitely don't want to forget is going to be this woodruff key. This is very importante. Very importante. So the woodruff key is going to go in right here. That was the item that earlier in the video I mentioned that you have to pull out before you can pull off the power steering pump. I see this question a lot in a lot of the Lincoln groups and a lot of the 462 groups, or actually either one of the MEL motors. People try pulling this off and wind up damaging some stuff trying to rip it out without removing this woodruff key because they either didn't see it or whatever. So we just going to get some assembly lube on that, pop that back in there, and then from there we can put our harmonic balancer back on, right? Alright guys, so now that we got all of that stuff taken care of, we have our harmonic balancers back on. We cleaned up the timing marks, so when we crank it, we can check for timing and just make sure it's correct and that this part is working as it should be. So we're gonna add oil and we're gonna add power steering fluid so we can crank it tonight and make sure everything's good, hunky-dory, and we'll run on under its own power. And then we'll finish wrapping it up before we throw all the front accessories back on.
On a side note, anybody who's running an older engine with a flat tappet camshaft, modern oils do not have enough zinc or phosphorus in them to protect the camshaft. So you should be running a diesel oil because they're usually higher in zinc and phosphorus because they didn't get dumbed down during the change. So this is almost a necessity when you're running an older engine, or else it's just going to eat the cam.
And with that said, let's add the oil. All right, here we go. Moment of truth, right? After all the stuff, let's make sure we didn't fuck it up. Chris, do the sketchy thing.
Yeah, let's try it.
Well, everyone, it runs. We're gonna call it a night.
First time in a year?
Yeah, right about a year. It was like right around September. I'll look up the Instagram post I made when I towed it home originally, but that's awesome. That's really good news. It's exciting. We can start going out to some Suicide Slab meets, classic meets, car meets, and it means we can start doing more Lincoln content because we do kind of want to throw a turbo on this bitch because I haven't seen anyone do it, and I see a lot of questions about it. All right, welcome back to the next day. Today, we just have the water pump. We gotta do the fans again, and then we'll slap in the radiator and add our coolant. So we're gonna bring this down and get started on that. All right, real quick. So we got everything back in 100%. We're topping off fluids, and we're gonna run off of pouring gas in the carburetor until the fuel pump picks back up doing its job. Do not forget you have 2 trans cooler lines down here that you have to take care of. When we were underneath it doing that portion, we were sure to tighten the lower alternator bolt as well, so try not to forget that. So it's all in, battery's in. We're gonna give it a test start. Well, we're gonna run it and try to burp the coolant system as much as possible and get it to pick up on the fuel pump itself. And I'm tired. I realized why I was getting hot earlier, because the sun was beating on me. That's why I was sweating.
Oh, as it was going
Yeah, I didn't realize it until at one point I was like, fuck, my leg burns. What's touching me? It's like, the sun. Everything that I can source. Not where I have to look. I know, that's my butt.
Let me know about when you're ready.
I am good. Ready?
Yep.
Alright, just like that, that's how you do the timing chain. Success! It's running. It only took longer because, so I know for you guys, I'll come out here. For you guys, it looked like it took several days. It really didn't take several days to do this job. So while we were underneath the car for the first time on a lift, we were finding small things that we wanted to either adjust or fix. Just doing some regular maintenance. It's the first time we've been underneath the car after bagging it, and I've probably put close to 2,000 miles on it since bagging it. All the problems that we may have fixed along the way aren't because of, you know, just driving it a shit ton. It's just the first time we've been underneath it. So, but we appreciate you guys watching. If you like the content, be sure to like it. Comment if you have questions. It's a big job, but it doesn't take a whole lot of time. Realistically, we could have had it done in like 6-ish hours tops on the first day if we had all the parts, or well, consumables like oils and stuff right off the bat. And, you know, we weren't looking for other small items along the way. So, thanks again for watching. Take it easy. How do you feel about it, Chris?
Done.
Chris says done. He's go home. All right. I'm taking a shower and then I'm going home. Bye, everyone.